Greetings. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about a new toy I bought for myself. When you go to travel and you play music, it's impossible to take that grand shaped object that I have and throw it in the back of the car and take it anywhere with me. So I did a little shopping around and I found a Casio Privia for about 500 bucks. Shopped for it online at Craft Music and I think it was $6.39 or something like that. I got that, the stand, a pedal, and even some place to put my butt when I'm playing. And it also came with a pretty nice carrying case. The reason I'm doing this is because for something so cheap, I was really shocked at the quality of it. It feels very much like a real piano. Close enough to my grand that 5 minutes of playing in between the two, I am very, very pleased. I can master it easily. The sound on it is not bad. This is the PX-150. This is the one that you'll see the reviews saying it's the speakers are lacking and whatnot. And I've got it turned up about 3/4 of the way, and I'll play a couple of things through just to give you an idea of how it sounds. Something through pretty quick. Built-in speakers. I'm at 3/4 volume. Setting here, I could sit in a motel room. I travel for work. I could play this and be very, very content with it. But if I was going to play in a room full of people, there is no way this thing would be able to begin to give it justice. So I picked myself up a very inexpensive amplifier I bought used. I can't pronounce it. Bayringer. I think I got it for $100. It's like a $300 one, brand new. And let me get that plugged in so you can hear it with additional sound. We'll give it a second to warm up. I've got it adjusted to where about half volume on the piano itself does wonders. Got it to give you a little volume. And I'm just about halfway turned up on the amp, but it's going to give that bass a little bit of a boost. Again, it's not too bad. Matter of fact, that's giving my bass just a little bit more of an oomph. Which isn't too bad. It comes with several sounds. This is the standard concert pitch, 128 note polyphony. And way back in the day when I bought my first digital piano, I had a Clavinova CLP 123, which my aunt now has, from 1995, so those things last. And it had a whopping 16-note polyphony on the main piano sound and 32-note polyphony on the other instrument sounds, which the piano too was a little lacking, but you could do 32-note. The biggest problem I had with that was I play more notes in that second or two than it could process and it would clip. With the 128 note polyphony on this thing, I cannot make that happen. And I have slowed down over the years, but it is amazing, that little bit of a difference. But I've given you a little with an amplifier. with just its built-in speakers. And I'm going to pop this off and jump over and sit on the real piano and give you the same thing, just so you can hear a little bit of a comparison of what it sounds like. Okay, back over on the real one. I don't know how well you can see me, but the most important thing is to hear it. This is a 5' 1" grand. It's not overly large. It's actually a baby, but a little taste of the bass. So you've got a little taste of how the bass on this is. Again, they're very comparable. I would not be surprised if the Privia is not modeled after a Steinway. It's got a richness I'm sure that microphone didn't pick up. But it's a fun little thing to play, and it's got some cool features, and I'll show a little bit of the MIDI capability here in a second, which I think is pretty neat, that I can get back and I can sequence songs, I can record again. This has a record strip in it that we had a pretty nasty storm a few years ago, and only half of it records, so it's kind of worthless on that. And the repair on this MIDI strip is around $2,000. I bought that for far less money, and it will serve the same purpose. And I will show you now a little bit of how the MIDI function works on it. It has USB MIDI. You plug it into a computer. You can do your recording, and then I will show you from there how it sounds. Okay, here's on the MIDI. It has a USB MIDI cable you just plug in. Three tries for the right way, of course. Plug it into the side of your laptop or your desktop. Sounds like I found it. 1 second. Casio USB MIDI, found it, life is good. And is the Anvil Studio, which is a freeware program. No, we're not going to do a metronome. I think I found it. So let's do a little short track and see how it sounds. Okay, enough of that since I forgot what I was doing. Let's see how the playback sounds. Okay, I think I got us going now. I've got what I've recorded. Now we can see it transferred over. talk before. Okay, and so much for that. But to sum up, the Privia is pretty decent. The keys that they have on there, it's a simulated ivory. And that's one problem I do have going back and forth when I sit down at the piano. Most newer pianos have these nice, smooth, slippery, shiny white keys made out of plastic. And the simulated ivory, they've got a little texture to them. And that's the first thing I notice when I come back. My fingers slide on these keys far, far faster, far, far easier. That's not necessarily better. It seems to me that it makes for sour notes, but. And there is probably a very slight difference in the depth of the keys going between the two. The repetition on the Privia is phenomenal. For a $500 toy, basically, I don't think you're going to get much better than that. So if you're looking for something to get started with, I got my deal over at Craft Music. The accessories are what you really want to look at. The piano is going to cost the same price anywhere. But happy shopping, happy hunting, and you'll be seeing that Privia, I'm sure, in several videos coming up. Have a great day.